like to thank you for watching LivingStrongTV.com. We would also like to take a moment to give you an opportunity to become a partner and sow a seed into our ministry. In order to sow a seed, you can click on the donation tab, or if you choose to mail your seed, you can send it to P.O. Box 363, Ridgeland, South Carolina 29936. The information is also located on the screen. Please make all checks and money orders payable to Whosoever Will Outreach Ministries. Once again, thank you for your support and becoming a partner with Living Strong. May you continually be blessed.
Well, hello and hello again, and welcome to another edition of the Living Strong Television Network broadcast, where I'm your guest speaker, Prophet Scotty Lee Johnson. You need to call a friend, call a neighbor, and say, hey, Living Strong is on, and once again, we're picking up where we left off on last night with that fastest 30 minutes starting right now. And again, I am excited about treasures of the heart in relations to life. Now, we've got to move quickly tonight, and we're going to go right back to the book of Revelation, because remember on last night, I told you about how God was going to break in sunder the bars of iron, and that he was going to break in sunder that which was holding you back like never before, the brass. Now, in the book of Revelation, let's get there. And you know, I've been bouncing around in Revelation. You notice I'm not going from book to book to book by order. I'm kind of bouncing around. Ephesus, Smyrna, went over there and looked at Sardis, looked at Thyatira, Pergamos. Now, guess what? We are going to look right back in the book of Revelation in Thyatira. And now we're going to see how this is going to play in with relations to life. Revelations chapter number 3. This is very important. And we're going to pick up right where we left off on last week. And we're going to show you how this ties in to that book of Isaiah chapter number 45. Remember, he's opening before you the two-leaf gates. Oh, I hear the Lord saying, get in a hurry. Get in a hurry. Because there is a promise that is fitting your life. And this promise will not be lost by the essence of time. Oh, I keep hearing this word, and I heard it again on last night. Broadway, Broad Street, boardwalk. And what God is saying is that there's a Broadway, there's a broad street, there's a boardwalk that I've set in life. And it's bigger than anything that man can ever set forth. And I see this. And somebody watching me on tonight, you're having a problem with your esophagus, but the Lord is bringing healing like never before in Jesus' mighty name. Now, I know that tonight is not prophetic release night. We're talking about treasures of the heart, and we're continuing with in relations to life. What does that mean? Everything that's in your life that you're in relationship to. The Lord is saying, I'm after this now. We're going to go deep tonight. Put on your scuba diving gear. Let's go there. In the book of Revelations, chapter number 2, and verse number 24. But unto you I say, and unto the rest of Thyatira, as many as have not this doctrine, in which have not known the depths of Satan, as they speak, I will put upon you none other burden, because there's an enemy. And this enemy is the one that operates these gates of iron, these brass, this stuff that locks you in. Now you've got to see this, because now what God is after, he's after refilling your vessel. He's after refilling your vessel. Now also, you're going to see that Satan himself is transformed into this angel of light So therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers be transformed into the ministers of righteousness. Now let me show you something. Whenever you see Jesus come on the scene, he's always after the demonic forces that is tormenting your life. And you must remember that even on last night, I told you that demons and angels, they're able to travel through that same gateway. Remember when Job was tested by God, Satan came before the sons of God, and as the sons of God was going back and forth giving God reports, here come old Satan up in there saying, why is it that have you considered your servant Job? Why is it that you protect him so much? Relations to life. Job was a man that eschewed evil. He shunned it. He stayed away from it because he feared God. But his relations to life was that he had a covenant connection that regardless of what nobody else do, I'm going to keep my covenant with the Lord. So now what happened is that the devil couldn't get Job, so he came after the relations of Job, which was his children and his family. And so when he can't get you, he's coming after the next closest thing to you, which is sons and daughters. But let me tell you something. Oh my God, there is a way that seemeth right to a man, but there are other ways of death. The Lord declared in his word, and Joshua began to say, look, far as me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. So you've got to know that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So what God does is that he takes your seed and he covers them with the protection of his covenant promise. Now watch what happens, because you've got to remember we're still dealing with coming off the vessels into the relations. So what is it that's in your life that has caused you to be set back? Oh my God, here we go. Here we go. Listen, I'm going to get ahead of myself a little bit because this is important. I need to say this before I go any further. People will prophesy you right out of the will of God. You got pastors and leaders that will hold folks inside of four walls to keep them from getting promoted in other job opportunities only because they want a member. Whenever God opens a door for you, that door is not open for your church. It's not open for your pastor. It's not open for your boyfriend. It's not open for your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, or your children. They can follow, but that door is open for you. And when you go through it, then you got the choice to pull everybody else along. But don't let people keep you in a small place simply because they want a membership. God doesn't bless you with a job overseas, but you can't go because you're a part of the First Baptist of Bondage off Pentecostal Avenue down by Lutheran Waterhole. And you can't go nowhere because you've been baptized under the lemon juice covenant that if you leave me, then you'll be cursed. And you ever been to a place to where leaders say, well, if you go somewhere, God going to do this and God going to do that? That's a lie. That's a lie. When you find a leader that's willing to die for God and for what they believe, then you got a real leader. You don't have a leader that hides behind the congregation with 10,000 bodyguards. Well, Prophet Johnson, surely they ain't going to go out there and let nobody kill him. That's not what I'm talking about, and you know it. When you find somebody that's ready to give their life for Christ and the gospel, that's when you have a real leader. But when you take folks that's able to stick you out there in front and make you think that they all big and they got a big cross in front of them that's big enough to stop Dracula and all his cohorts, then you got something. No. When God blesses you, he promotes you. You do like Abraham did. You get your grip together, you pack your bags, and you throw them on the side of your hip, and you go to walking. Because God getting ready to bless you, because everybody don't want what you want. Now let's move on and go a little bit further. I'm telling you, this is in relation to life. Oh my God. Now Now, it's going to get a little hot and heavy. It's going to get a little hot and heavy. And somebody's saying, well, Prophet Johnson, oh, you'll see just in a minute here. It's going to get a little hot and heavy now. Watch this. The Bible declares, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Watch. Verse number 25. But that which you have already, hold fast till I come. So I've given you something already, but if you hold fast to what I've given you, he's saying, I'm going to give you power over the nation. But you can't get power over a nation when you've been broke down by society, when you've been broke down by relations in life, when you've been broke down by jobs. There are people that are on jobs that are taking stuff that you never believed they're taking. They're getting cursed out. They're getting called names behind the scene. Their hours are getting cut. And they're having to compromise and hold their peace and go back to a place and hope and pray that they got enough to make it to the end of the month. Even to the point to where they cut and snap food stamps. And folks don't even know how they're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner because the enemy is out to target everything that will cut you back in life so that you are not able to progress or process in life. And God is saying that is not going to happen because I am breaking ill-fated relations, oh my God, in life. I'm breaking those. Here it comes. Watch the power that God's going to give you. Watch what he's going to give you. And he shall rule, watch this, them with a rod of iron. We just talked about that last night. You'll rule them, what? The nations. With what? A rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter, here it goes again, vessels of a potter. We are that vessel of his pottery, you know, and he's that potter and we are the clay. So he molds us and shapes us. And so what does he do? He fills us with that precious power and that precious glory of his anointing. There's a person watching me right now. Your feet is lame and it's been turned out of the way. The Lord is saying, just like on last night, he's turning you back into the crooked places. He's making them straight. So that lame feet and that hung down head, that feeble knees, God is lifting up once again in Jesus' mighty name. Okay? Even as I received of my Father, and I will give him the morning star. You know what that is? That's that glory that shines over you. He that hath in spirit to hear, let him hear what the Spirit hath to say to who? The churches. Oh, we're getting ready to go to the good part. You still got time to call a friend and call a neighbor and let them know that Living Strong is on. Because there are people right now whose treasure is broken inside of a vessel. And many of you, your treasures are broken inside of a vessel because of love relationship, because of children. And you're sitting back and you're wondering, how is it that I put my heart into this relationship? I put my heart into this marriage. I had his children. I served her and I did what I could. But yet, when it was all said and done, you was left for another, hung out to dry, and they would hope that you would die. And God saw you sitting by the wayside. He saw where you had been used. He saw where you had been abused. And he saw where your heart had been broken. And he saw where every single relation in your life had cracked your vessel. And you went back to the dogmatic spirit and you tried to heal it. You tried to make it better. But the more you gave, the more they took. They took of your oil. They took of your grain. They took of your wheat. And they left you. And God is saying, I sent a good Samaritan. And he came through my word to let you know that no longer will your vessel be cracked by society, by the relations in life. How long? or you're going to come subject to the guy that beats you across the head. It's amazing. I was riding down the road and heard a comedian on the radio flipping the station. And he was giving the example. And I've said it so many times, but I've never heard it like this. How a young lady can go out and meet a nice guy in a suit and meet a nice guy in a tie. Clean cut haircut, well groomed. And he's interested in her. But she'll turn him down and say, no, no, get away from me. But yet she'll go and get this guy that's got nappy hair, bumps all over his face, gold on one side, silver on the other, and a crown on the bottom missing 2 teeth. With his hat turned around backwards, with his pants hanging off his butt, and with the brown seams that come down the middle of it. And she'll get him, and she'll take him home, and all of a sudden find out that he about to half beat her to death. He about to half kill her. She got to call the police and everybody else to get rid of him. And then she ended up taking him to court to sign a restraining order against him. And when she go to court, guess who she find out got to represent her? The other man in the suit that she turned down. That's just a shame. And they would rather be with some dog old thug than some clean cut trying to make it in life guy. I ain't never in my life figured it out. Can't never figure that out. Why would you want someone that's going to half kill you before they can love you? Man, till death do you part, not me. Oh boy. Proverbs chapter number 8, verse number, and let's look at verse number 17, because this is important. I want you to hear this. It says, 8 and 17, I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Now this is talking about wisdom, okay? Now watch this. We're talking about in relations to life. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. So he's saying, wisdom is saying, I'm going to give you something that's going to last, not something that's going to break you up. You know, how is it that you can birth his children and he not even be there for the birth? And for all of you men who are walking around with some big chip on your shoulder and think you some Don Juan, Hong Kong that's got it going on, let me say to you right now, only thing you need to do is go to a delivery room and watch a woman have a baby. And when you see that child come out of the birth canal, that's going to let you know your ego just been crushed. And you're going to go back to Pee Wee Herman's Wimp School and start all over again. Because you've got to respect the female that God has placed in your life. And if you don't, you'll find out that treasures are broken up. And there are a lot of hurting people right now that are in dead, dried out circumstances and relationships. And you can't get past point A to point B because he is your security. And you are his test subject. And as long as you're his test subject, you will never be able to graduate beyond your insecurity in life. And God is trying to show you that wisdom says, I give you, yea, durable riches, something that's going to hold. And it's not going to be broken by that which is the failure of the opportunity that comes from the frailties of mankind. My fruit is better than gold. You see that? Yea, than fine gold, 24 karat, mighty fine to me. And my revenue than choice silver. Ha ha! Get that from Mexico. I lead in the way of righteousness. Oh, I know that's right. In the midst of the path of judgment. We don't want to hear about that. Okay? That I may cause those that love me, listen to this, to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. Oh God, there it is. Here we go again. Not tonight. Oh, listen. When you get this first lady of God, this woman is so bad until she even knows that it's illegal for a woman to be broke. She's standing at the gate. Boy, here we go. Listen, verse number 1 in chapter number 8. Doth not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice? Why? Because she's the producer. She standeth in the top of the high places by the path, in the places of the path. She crieth. Watch what she cries at in verse number 3. She crieth at the gates. At the gates. What gates? Your eye gate, your nose gate, your mouth gate, your ear gate. Wisdom is saying, I'm speaking to you. And it is not for you to be a fool in relations to life. Oh God, Samson, one of the strongest men there was. And he fell prey to Delilah. And she cut his hair. And you've got to be careful, my brother. Keep your head out of Delilah's lap. And you look at David. And you look at Bathsheba in relations to life. When you look at life and you look at the essence of what each and every one had to go through, their failure was because of the inadequacy and the incompetency of their inability to maximize their potential. And what God is saying to you, you failed in so many opportunities. You've been hurt, but how long are you going to go down that road? And how long are you going to settle for less? And how long are you going to stay in a broken, ill-fated relations of life and compromise to your defeat? Because this will be your downfall. And except you learn who you are, then you won't move past where you are. And if you continue to conform, then you won't be reformed. Look at chapter number 10, verse number 1. Because the Lord is showing me tonight, God, a lot of you've been hurt. If you take, what is this thing? A corkscrew, and you screw it into clothing, you notice it will wrap that clothing up, tie that clothing up, and tear that clothing up. This is what the enemy have done in the life of many people. He twisted their life with like a metal corkscrew. And all he's doing is ripping their vestures apart. And there comes a time that you've got to admit a truth. And you've got to come to a point to where you've got to make up your mind that you search out your treasures, you search out your talents, you search out your gifts. I'm not advocating separation. I'm not advocating divorce. What I am saying unto you is that you have got to deal with the relations in your life that is blocking your treasures from coming forth. And oftentimes we are so busy trying to help other people out of trouble. If there ain't the children, if there's not the mother or the father or the uncle or some relatives or some situation to where you got to bail somebody out and your life is scattered because you're often having to go and deal with others. But what about you? When are you going to realize that you have this treasure in an earthen vessel? You are that glory inside, and God wants you to be happy for you and not for everybody else. When was the last time you took yourself out with nobody? You can't do it. You got some folks that are in relationship because they're scared of the dog. They can't even go to sleep at night except they have somebody with them, and it don't matter who it is. It would be amazing if the man left out and they left the door open and a bear came in and went to sleep on the bed. I guarantee you they wouldn't even know the bear was there until the next morning. All because they're comfortable in sleeping by something in relations in life that they feel their security is in. You got some folks that haven't even went nowhere. It's amazing. Some people don't even know what other parts of the earth look like. They see everything on television. Live in the same old town and die right there. You ought to go somewhere. At least go 20 miles up the road to the next town. Listen to me. Chapter number 10, Proverbs, verse number 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, a wise man, son, make it glad. A wise man's son, make it glad. Now watch this. This is so important because, some people are so stubborn. No matter what you tell them, they ain't going to do nothing. They're just not going to do it. You can preach from your heart. But when you've been beat down to death, I've seen it. Oh, my God, I've seen it. I can't figure out how some people can't make love until they got a black eye, a blue eye, and a bloody nose. That's amazing. You can't love me until you beat me? That's crazy. That is so crazy. Relations in life. Your failures are coming to an end. They're coming to an end. Well, Prophet Johnson, I don't know who I love. You mixed up. You just mixed up. Let me say this now, because let me say this. I'm going to read this in a minute. You notice that, and I don't want to get too deep. You notice that there are certain martyrs that say that if you go out and you kill somebody, you're going to go to heaven and you're going to get 72 wives, all beautiful of your choice that are virgins. Now, this is in a religion for real. In so many words, people do believe that. Now, we're not going to get deep. Y'all know who they are. Now, let's leave that alone. I'm saying to myself, why would I go out and kill somebody to go to heaven to get 72 wives when one woman will drive you crazy right here on earth? If that ain't the nuttiest thing in the world. And Solomon, 300 wives and 700 concubines, no reason God had to make him wise. Because he had to be smarter than all the cunningness of every woman. A woman is so cunning. Men, we really are not smart. We really are not smart when it comes down to women. Women are smart. And the Bible says, 72? You got trouble trying to date two. In the midst of that, it's better to dwell in the rooftop with a bear than in the house with a brawling woman. If a woman throw her hand up and snap her neck, brother, you better run because the grit's coming. God is trying to bring you to a place to where you are comfortable in your relations in life and in your relationship to life. It is good to walk and be free and not worry about that. Man, I do not know. There is not that much testosterone in the world. There's no way, period. You can have them. No way. No. Thank you, sir. Verse number 1, the proverb of Solomon, you got to come out. If you don't, you can sit back and criticize me all you want. Yeah, I know it. Oh, but I love him. I know you do. But when you get through getting broken by what you think loves you, you can compromise all you want. You can compromise all you want. That 5 minutes is not worth 50 years of misery simply because you made your mind up that you was going to satisfy their desire in relations to life. No. Your treasure is where your heart is. Verse number one, we're going to get through this two verse, I guess. The proverb of Solomon, a wise man maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. You better believe that. A foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Foolish daughter is too. Okay? All right. Treasures, listen to this, of wickedness profit nothing. So, treasures of wickedness profit nothing. You better believe it. If you don't believe me, go rob the bank. You in jail. Treasures of wickedness profited nothing. I've never seen folks, and I'm not going to chase this rabbit, that will steal as much as what I call the button punching demon steals in some of these inconvenient stores. People will take the last penny. They will fight for it. People are undermining the treasures of men's heart. The rich are taken from the poor every day and laughing at them. There is so much money getting ate up on the rich scale and the high scale until this treasure that has been gotten through wickedness, the Bible says it profited nothing. You ever watched American Greed? The folks go out there and lie to everybody, scam them out of money. Remember Madoff, that made off with it, you know? Ponzi scheme. You keep on going to little pyramids. You keep on mashing that little button on the computer. And you keep on mashing that little dollar sign, thinking you're going to win something. If you got to put money in to win it, it ain't no good. All right? If you got to pay money to get it, it's no good. See scams like that all the time. Folks are so dumb. You know, your uncle just died over in Africa, and he left you $125,000, and you need to send us $10,000, $2,000. First of all, you don't even know your uncle in Africa. And you believe in that stuff, and you send them $2,000, and then they say, well, you need to send another $1,000, and you caught up in a scheme trying to get $125,000, and all they want is your $3,000 that you just got from your income tax check, in which you plan on going to Walmart and getting 2 big televisions and putting them in a buggy. Now you can't get nothing. And you can't even get your teeth fixed or pulled because you lost your dental money, and now your teeth hurt. And you can't even eat your food and enjoy that because you've been scammed out of your money. Don't give no money to those scammers. You know, it's amazing. I don't want to get too much into this. They still digging wells. I can't figure out how they still digging wells and still trying to feed the children. I cannot figure that out. Till this day, that just don't make no sense. Why they can't dig a well and get water? That is the most craziest thing I've ever heard. But any which way they can get money, they'll do it. Hey, my time is running out, and I know you've enjoyed this tonight. But listen to me. Treasures of wickedness profited nothing, but righteousness delivered from death. So God is saying that there's a righteous treasure that is in your heart, but it delivers from death. But this treasure of the wickedness, it's not going to profit anything. It's not going to do you no good to go steal nobody $100. It's not going to do you no good to steal their $5. That's not enough money anyway. You know, if you're going to go get something, then you know, don't do nothing. Don't steal nothing. Because, you know, this is something that people are doing every day. And this is why it's very important for you to know that when you sow and when you give, God multiplies back to you through the word. You sow that $100 seed in the Living Strong, and you watch God promote you, and you watch God bless you, and you watch God return unto you. I hear the Lord saying, tell my people before the night is over that favor is returning back into your life, and this is favor that is granted that cannot be washed away. Hey, I know that fast is 30 minutes. It's already come and gone your way. And I know that you're excited about it. And you're saying, Prophet Johnson, this is getting better every night. Well, I tell you what, You just wait till tomorrow night, because we're going to go a little bit deeper, and we're going to deal with a little bit more of what's happening with these demonic forces that are coming through in the earth and messing up the treasures that's in the hearts of the people. Let me tell you something. If you think that you're living a life without love and you're only compromising to get by for a certain amount of time, don't fool yourself. That demon that you're playing with is trapping you every day that you're with it. And the longer you stay, the stronger it gets. You better cut your losses in half and make sure that you don't lose the treasures of your heart in relations to life. Hey, that's going to be my time. And I'd like to thank you for yours. And once again, I hear that sound of thunder. I hear the abundance of rain. You know it's coming. That's right. What? Remember to do what? Always live to love and love to live. Have a good night. Bye now.
We'd like to thank you for watching LivingStrongTV.com. We would also like to take a moment to give you an opportunity to become a partner and sow a seed into our ministry. In order to sow a seed, you can click on the donation tab, or if you choose to mail your seed, you can send it to P.O. Box 363, Ridgeland, South Carolina 29936. The information is also located on the screen. Please make all checks and money orders payable to Whosoever Will Outreach Ministries. Once again, thank you for your support and becoming a partner with Living Strong. May you continually be blessed.
I'm pressing towards the mark of the highest call, and no matter what comes my way, I'm not stressing. I'm pressing towards the mark of the highest call, and no matter